Good evening. This brief video is for recapping some of the major points of Lama Zopa Rinpoche that Lama Zopa Rinpoche taught in his retreat that is still going on in France at the Vajrayogini Institute on Voidness. Yes, teaching on Voidness, although the retreat was about this great Tantra of Vajrayogini, but he taught a lot about Voidness. And I wrote some notes here, and I will try to recap for you and also remind you the next dates, June 21st, 23, for our small retreat, because last time it was canceled because nobody enrolled. So here the rule is that 6 people is the minimum for having a course, 6 enrollments. So if you don't come at least 6 to enroll previous the course, they don't give me a hall or a place where to hold this retreat, okay? So, because as Lama Zopa taught in this teaching also, at one point he said, even if you study scriptures a lot, which is very important, but you do not have a real experience. And if you don't have a real experience, you don't feel fear. Yes, because fear is happening when you are proceeding correctly towards the realization of emptiness at one point, he says, and you are you feel fear because you are falling into nihilism, he said. So that means that you are examining the world, not finding the phenomena if you look, but then you don't catch the real object or refutation, and you think that nothing really exists, which is completely wrong. And that the moment that you feel you are falling in this total non-existent, then you strongly grab the eye because you cannot bear this feeling that you don't exist at all, because you do exist, okay? So that is why, you also feel fear and you grab the eye, but that fear is just for a second, so that you grab and you feel solid again. Your solid eye didn't go anywhere, okay? So instead, if you proceed in the correct process towards the realization, you feel fear at one point, because that when your understanding falls into nihilism, but that instead of grabbing the eye and solidifying your experience, no, you should proceed. You should cross the river, Lama Zopa said. Cross the river. Continue the contemplation and go on the other side. You do not stop now, because that's the correct path. You have to feel fear. Sorry, I'm slipping down my chair here. Okay, so it looks like falling into nihilism, I'm reading in my notes, but it is not like that. You must cross the river. There is no real I on the merely labeled I. It says there is no I on the I. There is only the merely labeled I. There is no real I behind. So here, this is the process that we already described, but he explained it even more precisely. The merely imputed I appears in the consciousness when you think about yourself in the first split second of perception. But it appears, but you don't see it, you're not conscious of it. Instead, what appears back is, because of ignorance, is the real existent I, existent from its own side. Okay? So that is because of ignorance. In the third split second, you know, not, that really existent I from its own side, we entrust this appearance as really existent. That entrust we totally are convinced is true, so that is the root of samsara. So that's it. There is nothing more to know. You have to cut through this, okay, to be free from samsara, which is really amazing. It's not so difficult. Well, it's not so complicated. It is difficult because our past imprints, okay? So the point is this: we perceive everything in this fundamental, self-arising dualism. Self-arising because it came up the first moment that we were conceived, You can say, I'm existing on this side, on my side, by myself, and the world outside is existing from its own side, and it does not depend on the concept, does not depend on the mind designing, designating it. But in reality, what's happened, the moment that an appearance of form or sound, whatever, appears to our sensory consciousness, we saw this process in 3 split seconds. And when we say, when we identify that form with a name, that's it. We know what it is. That moment, we also project a real existence, and we totally entrust it. That's true. That's what's real. Okay? So that is the root of samsara. Okay, so I don't think I have anything else here. So it's everything that Rinpoche, well, he said many other things, but this is what I noted down. And, so the gacha, the object of refutation, of negation, is the existence from its own side, okay, independently from our perception of it. Amazing, okay? So let's think about it when we come back on June 24th. And please enroll, otherwise we cannot do it. Thank you.